Hi, welcome back to the channel. So for this particular build I am going to be tackling Dragon's P-61A stroke B Black Widow in 7-second scale. I've just had an urge to build a Black Widow for some reason, either in 48 or 7 seconds. So I managed to pick this kit up off Evil Bay for not a bad price, to be honest. So you got the 2-in-1 version. So obviously you could do an early or a later one, depending which one you want to build. So could have obviously gone for the Hobby Boss kit. I think the Dragon one is, a little bit better. So just have a quick look. So obviously got a set of instructions, normal pull out ones, which is Dragon's sort of way of doing it. Okay, so I'll have a look at them in a minute. Set of decals, which we'll see if I'm going to use or not. Obviously a couple of bags of parts, and I've got a couple of bit of aftermarket for it. So that comes with the kit, this little bit of photo etch. You can't see, there you go. So that's for some aerials or something, I don't know. Mask set, obviously. And I've got an Airways etch set. I don't think you can get an Edward set anymore for this. I presume they would have done one in the past, which would have been nice. But we'll have to do the Airways one, which is actually quite nice thin etch set. So add a bit to the cockpit, and I think the dive brakes or whatever, there's other bits in there. So look what we have. Box out of the way. So there you go with what you get. So you get some sidewall detail, obviously seat harnesses and seat sides, which is a nice touch. If you want to pose the canopies open, all the clear parts, again you get some struts and stuff, usual thing with the instrument panel and levers. And then on the back, against front, rear, sorry, but sidewall detail there. Same on the other side, and then that's the boarding ladder, I think, access. So yeah, we'll see. It's not going to be all of it's being used. I'm not 100% sure yet. You know, as it's going to progress, I'll just see how it goes. So enough waffle. I'm going to get cracked on. Obviously, starting off with whatever step 1 says. Which, surprise, surprise, on aircraft is a cockpit. So we're starting off with the cockpit. Going to do this as a build vlog, so it's not going to be like a blow-by-blow account of, you know, let's put that pot to that pot and so on and so forth. It's going to be a bit of a build vlog. If I come across anything that's a problem, I will obviously mention it. I might do a bit of painting and weathering on camera as well, but really it's just going to be a bit of a 1-2 miss a few and it might be done. So we'll see how this goes. It's just a new format. I'm just trying, see how it goes for the channel. So alright, so I'm going to crack on and I'll be back soon. Alright, so first job is what I've done is took all the main components of its sprues and just take them together. I just want to see if there's going to be any fit issues or any problems that's going to sort of bite me further down the line. So just a quick bit of Tamiya masking tape just to hold these parts together. Again, that looks, as you can see, pretty good. Just going to have to watch the alignment on the top so we don't get a step. But again, don't see any issues there. The problem I have seen though is, again, the wings, just a quick look, taped together pretty well. That'll obviously all clamp up with a bit of glue. Alright, but one wing fits better than that one's not as bad. And again, I've not really done any cleanup on these edges yet, so there is a bit of a step. So all that there, if we just square that off, I think we will get a better fit and just make sure that's all clear, that mating surface there. But again, look, it does kind of click, but a little bit of a gap, but not too bad. So that's that side. This side though, I think if I remember, just lock that into place, is Actually, that's better than I thought. Again, no real clean up on the edges, so actually the wing mount don't look too bad, not on a gap underneath either, so I think we'll get away with that. I thought there's more of a gap than that, but I think we should be alright once that's squared up. The other bit I wanted to check was these booms actually to the wings, so again this is only like rough sort of just roughly fitting the gap pretty good underneath, as you can see. Not much of a gap there. Again, I'm going to have to do a bit of tidying up around this front and just make sure the alignment's good at the back, but actually the fit's pretty good. Like I say, there's no clean up done as yet. It's just literally taken off the runners and just a bit of clean up here so it fitted to the fuselage. So that's that side. Let's have a quick look at this one. Again, we have got a bit of a tab there that needs cleaning off. Again, not too bad. So far so good. Alright, so the main components are looking good at the minute, not look like they're going to cause me any issues. Again, I think this part of the tail as well will be fine, so we'll get it the right way. So next part is I have removed some of the cockpit parts, and as you can see we've got the airways exit. So first job for me to do is look quickly on these instructions is to get these seats built up and some harnesses on. So again, that one's going to look a bit more fiddly to be honest, which is the rear seat. Again, some of these bits I don't know if I'm actually going to use. We'll see as I progress through the cockpit if it's worth putting them in or not, but they are there if needed. And then obviously we've got the detail which goes in the back of the fuselage. Bit of ribbon and sidewall detail there, which would be a nice touch. So do get these seats built, and then we'll come back and see how all this fits together. So a quick update of where I'm at with this P-61. So as we can see, I have the cockpit parts all together, all ready for paint. Also done the photo etch in the back. So just has a bit of ribbon in the back there, and also the little instrument panel is done. There's unfortunately no decals in the kit, which I was hoping just do a bit of lamination, so just gonna have to do a bit of creative painting with that. Alright, so anybody wondering, just been using the old Flexi 5K for PE, sticking all the photo etch together, and good old AK extra thin. Alright, so next job is get a coat of primer on it, which I will be using the Aqueous Black Surfacer. Really like this primer, goes down beautiful, and then when that's dry we're going to give it a coat of Gen 3 US Interior Yellowy Green. So we go. So we're going to get the base colours down, and then obviously we will do our detailed painting when it's out the spray booth. But so far so good. Everything seems to be fitting together okay. With the bits of photo etch as well, kind of brings it to life. So yeah, all good. Right, so next job, get it in spray booth, get a coat of primer on it, and then we'll have a quick look at that, and then we'll get some colour on it. So just before we button this up, so I'll show you the interior. So the sidewalls are done, giving a quick dry brush and a quick wash with Flory Dark Dirt, which is that there, which is a bit of an old bottle, but same stuff that you get in the new one. So there you go, nice and easy to use, thin down with a bit of water, and then just flowed into where I want it. It's a pin wash. The other side is I've just put the fighting compartments in, if you want to say that. So that's the rear, and then there's the cockpit itself. Again, same principle, interior green, as I showed earlier, and then just a pin wash and a dry brush. So nothing overly complicated, but quite effective. So there we go. So next step for me is to just while I think as well, I've installed the guns as it said, or the gun barrels, and what I've done is just took a fine drill bit and just hollowed the ends out so you can so they actually, you know, they're not solid. So it just adds a bit more realism. So next job is to get this buttoned up. Everything does fit pretty well, as you can see. So get the clamp together, get it glued up, and then we can move on to the next bit. All the main components are now joined together, as you can see, and what I've done is just used a bit of the VMS Black Flexi 5K CA glue as a bit of a seam filler. So that's just put it in my little pot, and then with this scalpel you just dip it in, load it up, and then just run it down the seams, which will then obviously make it so it doesn't shrink is the plan, hence the super glue. And also with the black super glue, with the pigment being in it, it makes it easier to sand, which is always nice because nobody likes sanding. So a few bits I have done earlier. So I've done this boom, and as you can see, obviously the super glue left in there. Again with the front of the wings, if there's any gaps there, they should be nicely filled. We'll see under a coat of primer. And just for rubbing down, what I've been using is one of these sponges, which is one of the AK sponges. Obviously being nice and soft. It contours to the shape of the part, and you just go through the grits as per normal with sanding. So usual thing with cleanup of seams, take your time, keep checking, don't take too much out because obviously that defeats the object of filling. You don't want to keep refilling. So there we go. So I'm going to finish all these seams up, and then next task is actually to get it all together. Been test fitting the wings, and they're not too bad. This one I think it's going to need some fettling. It's supposed to clip in like that, but I think we're going to just remove some back. That is not a bad seam line at all. On this side, again, not bad at all really. I've got a bit of a gap at the back, but nothing that can't be sorted out with a bit of filler if needs be. But I think a bit of truing up of the mating levels, because I've not really prepped them. So there's a step on there, as you can see on the camera. We'll get rid of all them, and then I think we'll probably get a lot better fit. So that's where I'm at so far. We'll come back again when all this is cleaned up, and we'll get it all together. Progress report. As you can see, we have it pretty much together. Wings are on, as are the booms and the tail bit. So the engine is not attached. I was just trying it for fit. Right, okay, so wings weren't too bad. A little bit of a gap, which you can just see. I've been using Mr. Dissolve Putty, which is actually, say I've had this a while, I've not really used it. I'm really quite impressed with it. So been brushing that in late dry and then just cleaning it up with either a soft sanding sponge or a bit of thinners, a bit of lacquer thinners on earbud. So yeah. So we haven't got a bad fit there. I think we are pretty much square, as you can see. The booms, on the other hand, were a bit of a different kettle of fish altogether. So as you can see, I've been brushing putty about just to fill a few minor gaps, and again, under there. They seem to have been sitting too high on these 2 points. I've had to be doing a lot of shaving actually off the booms and off where it joins to the wing. Got the sanding sticks out, the scraper, the files, everything, just to try and get as best a fit as I could get, so it was, you know, less filling and sanding work, because I didn't want to lose the detail. We're not too bad, we're pretty level there. There was just obviously where the join is, there is a bit of a gap, which is inevitable really. Same again with these tail bit. Again, this is just a precautionary, just a slither of putty, just to fill the gaps in there. So not too bad, to be honest. Probably the worst bit though was the nose. The nose is way too narrow compared to the actual fuselage itself. It just doesn't seem to sit right. So again, some sanding and fettling and scraping mainly with this. I've just did the scraping tool out, which I will dig out and show you quickly. It says, get the right one. So I've been using one of these master tool scrapers, which is this one with the curved blade. You can get in there and just, you know, level it off without destroying every little bit of detail that's in there. We've got I would say a far better fit. It's still not absolutely perfect, but I think under a coat of paint you're not going to see it. So I'm going to obviously get rid of the putty, sand that down, sand all these bits down, and next job is get the clear parts on, which I've got a mask set for, and then start to give it a coat of primer. See where we're at, and then do any remedial work that needs doing before final top coat. So coming along, like I say, I'm quite enjoying it. I'll be honest, I am quite enjoying this. I'm quite enjoying this little bit of a challenge with stuff not fitting and you know, needing a little bit of fettling just to tighten stuff up. So yeah, it's, like I say, it's what I'm really trying to do with some of these builds, some of these older builds as well, where they're not actually CAD designed, and they need a bit of work to get them to look how they should. So anyway, we'll leave it at this, and then we will be back with, he says, in a coat of primer.